Hey folks, how you doing? Come on with us while I show you how to make money in this winter event. We're going to go to Fashionwave and show you what she buys. We'll go to sell. Now right now these double procurements are going to change every week. But what I'm going to show you is not going to change. If you look at the regular procurement price down below, you see that she'll buy everything from the Aurora Banquet to the Mandarin, apple, raspberry, blueberry, frosted pancakes. Those are all nice, good and well. We also have the creamy white radish soup, the steak with mashed white radish, iced latte, iced coffee, the frost spore seahorse, ocean sunfish, king crab, and pictures of the duck, captured wasp beetles, old world swallowtails, sea bass, and sardines. As you see, I've done a little bit of insect hunting myself, so I'm just going to sell her those. They don't sell for a whole lot, but it's worth gathering up and selling. And right now I've got extra turnips. So because of her buying the special event stuff, you're not going to be able to bring everything to her. Only those items. You want to start every day when the refresh hits. You're going to need to go to Massimo. You're going to need to buy all the frosting he's got, all the meat, all the eggs, all the milk, and all the butter. Also, do yourself a favor and buy all the coffee beans. And I'll show you why later. Okay. When you're done with buying everything from him, you're going to go home or to these stoves. I have 3 at home, so I always go home. You're going to start with the steak with mashed white radish recipes. Now these take 2 steaks and 1 butter and a radish. This method is going to bring you the most bang for your buck. It's going to take you the longest to cook everything, but it's also going to bring you the most money. You get more money for the Aurora banquets, but you need to make the steak, you need to make the soup, you need to make the coffee, and you need to make pancakes. That's a lot of cooking. Personally, I choose to skip that. But if you choose to go that route, more power to you. Because you need to start with the steak with mashed white radish. And then you're going to need to make the soup, the pancakes, the coffee, and then combine it all together. Now, for me, I don't earn enough with combining it all together because you're going to use a butter here and the steak, and you have a limited supply of those. Butter and milk. Butter and milk and the frosting. The iced coffee is going to need frosting and the coffee beans. The frosting, the coffee beans, and the milk. All of those are limited supply items, meaning you can't buy more than 50 icing. You cannot buy more than 50 of the coffee beans or 50 of the milk every day from Massimo. So you're limited by how much you can make. So I make steak with mashed white radish. Then I will make pancakes. Stick with that route because you're going to get more bang for your buck with the original frosted pancakes. The steak with mashed white radish, you're only going to be able to make about 25, 24, an even number because you're using 2 steaks. And then whatever butter you have left is going to be used for the white radish soup. But next you're going to go to the original frosted pancakes. Those are going to be your big money makers right there. Okay, if you so choose, skip the steak. Go straight to original frosted pancakes. Make as many of those as you possibly can. Don't worry about buying the steaks, but make original frosted pancakes. Next, you're going to make the creamy white radish soup. Make as many of those as you can until you run out of ingredients, either the milk or the butter. It's most likely going to be both. And then you're going to start with the iced latte because you need 2 milks for those. You can make those until you run out of milk. When you're out of milk, then you switch over to the iced coffee. You're still going to have enough coffee beans left over to continue cooking for a while. Once you've gathered all that, then you bring it all back here and you sell it for your profit. Now at that point, you're not going to be able to buy any more butter or milk or anything else that you're going to need from Massimo for cooking. So you're going to be stuck with white radishes that are uncooked. Just sell those. They don't sell for a whole lot, but at least they give you something. And in 15 minutes, you go back home, you harvest your crop. We'll go there. And I'll show you a quick way to harvest. If you're on PC, this is going to be the buttons F and W. If you're on your tablet or your iPad, you're going to need to learn how to tap one after the other, starting with the harvest and then the jump button. On the PC, you're most likely looking at the F to be your harvest. F forward, F forward, F forward, F forward, F forward, F forward, F forward. Back and forth. That's going to cancel the jump animation. It's going to cancel the bending over and picking up animation. It's not cheating. Other games do this all the time. Like DC Universe Online, I used to do this all the time. You need to get as much damage out as possible, so you learn how to cancel animations. This is the same thing. Get your radishes, plant them up, and when you get high enough level, you can drag or just push and hold. Now on the tablet, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to use your, you're going to push your action button, and then you're going to push your jump button. And that's going to be that. That's how you're going to get as much as possible. Now, I usually set an alarm for 15 minutes. And then I'll take the bus to the forest. And I'll run up the hill, gather some mushrooms here, gather some mushrooms down here. Run down to the fishing village, gather some mushrooms there. And then you can run up to Onsen Mountain and gather mushrooms there. And when you're done with that, you should have enough time to still come here to your home and do some cooking. Now, I've done all my cooking. I can't cook anymore because I'm out of frosting. I still got coffee beans, but I'm out of frosting. So I can do regular coffee. But the biggest money maker, if I had wheat, is the black truffle pie. But since I don't have that, I will do grilled mushrooms or grilled oyster mushrooms if I had any, or the shiitake mushrooms, or the button mushrooms, or the grilled penny buns. And I can do regular coffee at this point, but I can't do latte because I don't have milk. So basically, you're going to do your runs. You're going to make the penny buns, the grilled button mushrooms if you've gotten those, the grilled shiitake, and the oyster mushrooms if you've picked up any of those. If you don't have enough to make a full dish of any of those, the grilled mushroom is a good backup plan because it will take a mixture of any. Just be aware, do not let it take your black truffles because you use the black truffles only for the black truffle pie. All right. And that is the money-making guide, basically. That's how I run through the event, and I managed to get myself the car. Because I do that, I will harvest those truffles and get myself a little extra cash about every 15 minutes. And whether you're online for only an hour or 2 hours, oh gosh, that'd be so nice. No matter how long you're online, no matter how long you have to game, if you only have 15 minutes, fine. Plant the truffles and harvest those. And when you get high enough level to plant grapes, make sure to do those because as soon as you log on, after being gone for a while, you'll be able to harvest those and make lots of money. Everything that you cannot sell up here to Azure, then make sure to sell to this guy that's walking around right there, Albert Jr. Make sure to sell everything else to Albert Jr. I mean, she will take pictures of ducks. So anytime you're near a lake, take a picture of ducks. Anytime you're near butterflies, make sure to get yourself some butterflies captured. And that is going to be it. Thanks for joining and watching my video on a money-making guide for the winter event. I am just waiting until next week for everything to refresh, and then we'll get some new foods and maybe some butterflies and fish and stuff. But remember, recap, steak with mashed white radish. Make those first, and then your original pancakes, then your creamy white radish soup. Make sure to make your iced lattes and then your iced coffee. You don't get as much money for the blueberry, the raspberry, the apple, or the mandarin frosted pancakes as you do the original. I don't know why, but that's the route I make. Now, if you so choose to skip the steak because you're spending 200 gold to buy steak, and you need 2 of those for this recipe, which means you're essentially trading gold pieces for the currency that you're trying to get. Now, if you're more interested in just getting the currency and you don't want to waste more gold, because you do get more gold this way, just a little bit more, then just go with the original frosted pancakes. You're not gonna be missing out on much more than like 50 gold, 50 of the currency that you need. So just make nothing but original frosted pancakes and white radishes, just so that we're on the same page. Let's go back and I'll show you the difference. When I have a few, I'd be able to show the actual price difference. But when you go to talk to Azure, she'll buy whichever you have. But if we go to sell items, the original frosted pancakes right now are in the double procurement this week. So are the white radishes and the pufferfish. But that's going to change. But when you sell things, you're going to get the most money for the Aurora Banquet, but not enough to offset the fact that you're losing 3 items out of the 4 that you're blending together to make the banquet. The steak with mashed white radish, you're spending 400 gold pieces in order to make that steak with mashed white radish, and you're only getting like 420 gold for it, as opposed to like the 390 that you're getting for the original pancakes. And then the creamy white radish soup is like maybe 170, and the blueberry is like 130. So there's your breakdown. I mean, you're not making that much more by making the steak. But if it's really important to you to grind for the money, then make the steak. Don't pass on it. If you're really, really hard up and trying to get the coinage to buy those items you want, which I was, then that's the route you want to go. But the steak costs a lot. That's 200. Otherwise, just buy yourself the milk and butter. I buy the eggs also and the frosting because I'm kind of doing a blend of all of them. And then you're going to want to buy the coffee beans as well, just so that way you can make the lattes and the coffees. All right, that is it. Thanks for joining. You guys keep being awesome. Have fun. See you next video.